XXX is a 2002 American action film directed by Rob Cohen, produced by Neal H. and written by Rich Wilkes. The first installment in the XXX film series, the film stars Vin Diesel as Xander Cage, a thrill-seeking extreme sports enthusiast, stuntman, and rebellious athlete turned reluctant spy for the National Security Agency. Cage is sent on a dangerous mission to infiltrate a group of potential Russian terrorists in Central Europe. The film also stars Asia Argento, Martin Chokas, and Samuel L. Jackson. Cohen, Moritz, and Diesel had previously worked on The Fast and the Furious as director, producer and cast member respectively. The film grossed $277.4 million worldwide and was followed by two sequels, XXX, State of the Union, and XXX, Return of Xander Cage, released in 2005 and 2017, respectively. Plot: Anarchy 99, a Russian terrorist group, acquires a biochemical weapon, Silent Night, presumed missing since the fall of the Soviet Union. Anarchy 99 easily discover and kill an undercover agent sent by the American National Security Agency to recover it. NSA agent Augustus Gibbons suggests sending someone who lacks ties to the U.S. government, such as Xander XXX Cage, an extreme sports professional wanted by the FBI for acts protesting against a senator. Gibbons takes Cage into custody, who then passes two field tests, before reluctantly accepting the job after he is told the only other option is prison. Cage meets the NSA support team in Prague, which includes Czech agent Milan Sova, who has been tasked with supervising and, if necessary, deporting Cage. While scouting an Anarchy 99 party, Cage identifies Sova as a police officer to Anarchy 99's leader, Georgi, earning him favor with the group. Cage asks Georgi about purchasing high-end sports cars, and Yelena, Georgi's girlfriend and lieutenant, gives Cage an account number. Gibbons calls Cage about changes to the plan but is impressed when Cage gives them information provided by the starstruck Kolya. As a result, Gibbons sends tech specialist agent Toby Shavers, who provides Cage with a special revolver, binoculars that can see through walls, and explosives disguised as bandages. As Cage attends the car deal he made with Georgi, Sova attempts to intercede. Using the trick revolver and special effects, Cage fakes killing Sova. Having earned Georgi's trust, Cage joins Anarchy 99. Georgi brings Cage back to a castle after a dance party at one of his nightclubs that serves as Anarchy 99's headquarters. Cage, while searching for the biochemical weapon, catches Yelena investigating Georgi's secret safe. He takes her to a nearby restaurant to discuss the matter and reveals his true identity. Sova betrays Cage to Georgi on the phone. Furious, Georgi sends his trusted sniper Kirill to kill Cage. While watching the pair, Kirill, who is in love with Yelena, warns her. As Cage and Yelena stage a fight, the NSA suddenly appears to capture Cage, and Yelena is taken back to Anarchy 99. Cage meets with Gibbons, who demands that Cage return to America now that his cover is blown and special forces are planning to siege the castle. Cage refuses, fearing for Yelena's life and bitter that Sova purposely blew his cover. Cage sneaks into Georgi's castle and follows him into a secret underground lab. Cage overhears Georgi's plan to launch Silent Night from a waterborne drone named Ahab. Cage flees the area after killing Kolya. At his hideout, he finds Sova waiting for him, now with Georgi. Before Sova can kill Cage, Yelena saves him and reveals herself to be an undercover Russian Federal Security Service agent abandoned by her handlers. Cage relays Georgi's plans to the NSA in return for Yelena's asylum. Against orders, Cage gives his car to Shavers and tells him to load it up with weaponry. Cage parachutes from a plane on a snowboard near Anarchy 99's communication tower. He starts an avalanche that destroys the tower but is captured by Georgi, who already knew Yelena's identity. As Georgi prepares to kill them, the special forces attack. Cage and Yelena free their restraints, but Georgi launches Ahab before Cage kills him. The Czech military prepares to destroy Ahab with airstrikes, though this will release some of the biochemical agent. Cage and Yelena take his car, now heavily modified by Agent Shavers, to race alongside the river to catch up to Ahab. Cage harpoons the drone, crosses over to it, and disables the weapon moments before it goes off. Cage and Yelena are recovered, and Gibbons follows through on his promises. In the conclusion, Cage and Yelena are relaxing in Bora Bora when Gibbons contacts Cage to offer him another mission, but Cage ignores him. Cast: Vin Diesel as Agent Xander XXX Cage, a thrill-seeking American extreme sports enthusiast, stuntman, and anti-establishment activist. Idolized in some subcultures, XXX is also hunted by the authorities and he is offered a deal to become a spy for the National Security Agency in exchange for leniency, the agency requiring an agent who can do the current job without the military professional training that Anarchy 99's background will allow them to recognize. Samuel L. Jackson as Agent Augustus Gibbons, a high-ranking official in the National Security Agency who has the power to give XXX a pardon for his crimes. He uses this fact as leverage to recruit XXX for a mission he knows XXX is the only person with the possibility of succeeding in infiltrating Anarchy 99, recognizing the benefits of XXX's rebellious attitude and unorthodox methods. William Hope as Agent Roger Donnan, the associate and administrator of the National Security Agency. Danny Trejo as El Jefe, a torturer for a Colombian drug cartel. Asia Argento as Agent Yelena, Georgi's apparent girlfriend. Originally a Russian intelligence agent, sent to watch over Georgi but has since been abandoned by her superiors. Yelena becomes romantically involved with XXX and he attempts to get her political asylum in the United States for her assistance in bringing down Georgi. Martin Chokas as Georgi, former soldier in the Army of the Soviet Union, now a wealthy hedonist owning a string of locations around Eastern Europe, including a castle and nightclubs. Georgi is also the leader of Anarchy 99, a group of militant anarchists with a disdain for all forms of government and authority, and society in general. His ultimate aim is complete lawlessness across the world. Michael Roof as Agent Toby Lee Shavers, NSA technogenius and gadget specialist. Richie Muller as Milan Sova, a cop and double agent. Werner Dane as Kirill, a member of Anarchy 99, cigarette addict and rifle sharpshooter. Petrojaklis Kolya, Georgi's younger brother. Jan Pavel Filipensky as Victor, a member of Anarchy 99 and close friend of Georgi. He is usually with Georgi wherever he goes. Tom Everett as Senator Dick Hotchkiss, a conservative California state senator. His car is stolen and wrecked by XXX prior to his recruitment by the NSA, in an act of property destruction, as a protest against some of Hotchkiss's policies. Thomas Ian Griffith as Agent Jim McGrath. Eve as JJ, Xander's friend. Leela Arsiri as Jordan King. Rammstein as themselves to imply Xander Cage's credibility within extreme sport subcultures. Various personalities make cameo appearances. Tony Hawk makes a cameo appearance in the Corvette scene from the bottom of the bridge driving the getaway Cadillac, and skating over a half-pipe at Xander's place later. Mike Valley also makes a cameo as a cameraman and an extra. Pro motocross rider Carey Hart is seen in the back seat of the Cadillac driven by Tony Hawk. Rider Matt Hoffman exchanges lines with Xander during the party scene. Also during the party scene, Josh Todd makes a cameo appearance though he never turns around, but his Suicide King of Hearts tattoo can be seen on his back. Production. In July 2001 it was announced that Vin Diesel will receive in the neighborhood of $10 million to star in the film, with an initial release date of July 26, 2002. In August 2001, Sony put a large billboard of XXX in Hollywood, before a script had been written. There was also a teaser trailer released on May 3, 2002. It was then attached to Spider-Man, and shown on the web. Filming took place at 3 locations. Most of the film is set in Prague, Czech Republic. The Corvette jump was filmed at the Forest Hill Bridge in Auburn State Recreation Area, Auburn, California. The final scenes were set in Bora Bora, Tahiti, and other areas in southern West Virginia. Several Czech Su-22s were used for the film. It was one of the last actions of these aircraft. Czech Air Force decommissioned Sukhois in 2002. Vin Diesel did many of his own stunts, director Rob Cohen said. I think the thing is that Vin did more than he should have, but less than he wanted to. Diesel took a fall during the avalanche scene, and landed head first and wasn't moving, and Cohen was worried the star of the film might have broken his neck. The Corvette bridge-based jump was performed by Tim Rigby wearing a Vin Diesel mask. The motorcycle jump was performed by professional motocross rider and stuntman Jeremy Stenberg, and Diesel's face was later added digitally. Stunt player Harry O'Connor, Diesel's stunt double, was killed on April 4, 2002, when he hit a pillar of the Palocky Bridge in Prague, parasailing during one of the action scenes. The accident occurred while filming the second take of the stunt. O'Connor's first attempt was completed without incident and can be seen in the completed film, which was dedicated to him. The first few minutes of the film take place at a concert of German Neue Deutsche Hart band Rammstein in Prague, performing the song Feuer frei. The same clip is available, but from the band's perspective in their video compilation Lichtspielhaus. Music. The film score was composed by Randy Edelman, a frequent collaborator of Cohen's. The film also featured a contemporary rock music soundtrack. Rammstein provided some of the music and was even featured in the film in the opening scene. During the club scene in Prague, Orbital can be seen playing their exclusive track Technologic Park Live before the dancing crowd. The soundtrack album also features Queens of the Stone Age, Drowning Pool, Hatebreed, Nelly, Lil Wayne, N.E.R.D., Firmin 4 and Moby. It was released on August 6, 2002, through Universal Records. It peaked at number 9 on the Billboard 200, number 16 on the top R&B/hip hop albums and number 1 on the top soundtracks. The Tweaker remix of the song Adrenaline by Gavin Rossdale was in the film, while the original version is included on the soundtrack. None of Edelman's score was included on the album, with a separate disc of his work released by Varese Sarabande. Reception.